Johnny Sauter, driver of the number 13 Sealmaster Curb Records Toyota. It's his second victory at Texas Motor Speedway. He becomes the third driver to sweep both Truck Series races at Texas Motor Speedway, and it's the fourth time a driver has swept both races. Johnny, you've had a lot of success this season at Texas Motor Speedway, and what has it been an up and down season? Talk about the win tonight and what it means to you.
Well, I mean, anytime you can get a win, it's a big deal. So, I felt really confident all day today, just knowing that we had the same truck and kind of typically about the same setup that we had here in the spring. And, we kind of struggled a little bit in practice there, and you guys talked about it a little bit there, practicing a little bit in the daytime and then transitioning tonight. And, boy, we hit on something there at the very end that, the truck just came to life. So, just proud of my team. I mean, when you've had things like we've had this year, just freak things break or whatever the circumstance was, it's easy to get down. So you just got to stay positive. And I got a really good group of guys, everybody at ThorSport. I'm proud of the Sealmaster to get their first win, Curb Records, Toyota, Triad Engines, everybody that's just a part of this. I'm just a guy that gets to sit behind the wheel and steer the thing all night, and the pit stops were great. Just a great night. Truck handled flawlessly. I was a little bit worried at the beginning of the race. It wasn't quite right, and we just tweaked on it all night long. If I'm not mistaken, we did air pressure pretty much all night, and truck came to us, and it was on cruise control the last 30 laps.
We're also joined by winning crew chief Joe Shear Jr. Joe, if you could, 2 wins at Texas Motor Speedway. What is it that you all have found to be so successful here?
Well, we transitioned from we kind of figured out, what it takes to run during the day and then run at night. And we really worked on our long run stuff during the night. We had that night practice here, and we worked on that. We really didn't see, like Johnny said, really see the speed like a lot of people had, but we really worked on our drivability, and it prevailed at the end. The drivability came to us, and we made minor adjustments, tuned into the racetrack, and it fell our way. We had awesome pit stops. The guys did a phenomenal job with our adjustments and our pit stops, and it was good. It was very good. It's good to win.
I think we have a note from the press box.
Yes, tonight's WinStar World Casino 350 establishes a series record for fastest average speed, 154.737 miles per hour.
Cool. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions. If you could raise your hand. Stan over here.
Stan Creekmore with RPMtonight.com. Joe, could you expand on what he said, that there was something in that last pit stop that you all did that just changed the truck tremendously, according to him, to make him feel like he could definitely win? Was it a minor change, a major change, or just plain luck?
Don't expand too much on that.
Actually, it was a minor change. We just did like air pressures and a little bit of wedge stuff today. I guess our basic setup that we run up here is really good, and the track was a little bit different this year than it was before. Like usually we kept tightening it up here, but this year we freed it up. And I don't know if that was a tire or the track, but anyways, our base setup was pretty close, so we just kept fine-tuning it, and we were there at the end. I heard a lot of people getting too tight, and I think we were just free enough.
Reed.
Reed Spencer with the NASCAR Wire Service. Johnny, there was a situation, I think, with about 12 to go where you closed on him pretty fast, got him a little bit loose, and then showed patience, backed off, and let him get it straightened out before you went after him again. Were you that confident that with 4 tires to his 2 that you were going to get by him over the next couple of laps?
Yeah, when we made our green flag pit stop, I obviously took care of everything, made sure we didn't get any penalties, and we passed the 30 truck, and they said, okay. And then it was a half lap later, they're like, hey, the 7 truck took 2 tires, he's the leader. So, and I looked up, and he was pretty far out there, and I was like, oh, boy. And at that point, they kept telling me my lap times, telling me I was 2, 3, 4 tenths faster than him per lap. And I knew that 2 tires wasn't, with as much time there was left in the race, 20, 25 laps, I didn't think they'd prevail. The bumps down over the tunnel in turns 1 and 2, all night long. Typically, we can run wide open here, and I wasn't able to do it all night long. So you just had to roll out, and I could see his truck, kind of bouncing over the bumps, and I just knew it was a matter of time. So I got a good run on him one time, and I forget who the lap truck was that kind of stacked us up a little bit. I was like, it's all good, and he took my groove away from me for the next lap, and then the next lap he gave me it back, and we were able to stroll around him. So, yeah, I was pretty confident that 4 tires, as fast as we reeled him in, I figured that it was just going to be a matter of time, and that there was plenty of time. So it's crazy, this racetrack. I think what's different about this racetrack from the summertime when we're here to the fall is we come here essentially by ourselves or with IRL, and when we came back this time, you've got Nationwide and Cup running on the racetrack all day, and the racetrack's black, got a lot of rubber on it, and I think maybe that's what the difference was tonight, why it got so tight.
Bob.
Bob Packer, Sporting News. That was kind of my question as far as, were you confident, like, that you would be able to catch him after your pit stop? And just, when you have that dominant of a truck, are you just wondering, like, what's going to go wrong over those last 15 laps? Not that you'd ever worry about anything.
Well, I'm worried about Tuesday, Mitt Romney winning. Let's hope he can pull that off. But, that's the next worry on my mind. But, I just felt, that we had the truck to beat all night long, and those last adjustments Joe made on the last caution, our truck was really fast. And, I think we restarted 6th, and we got to the lead there, and all we had to do was make sure we didn't screw up on the green flag pit stop, speeding up pit road or whatever, and then when they said Parker took 2, we put her in high gear, and we caught him really fast. So I just had a lot of confidence in the truck. The truck really came to us. Clean air seemed to be very important tonight, and I think it put a big emphasis on restarts, getting going, the first 2-3 laps to get clear of a lot of guys so you could have clean air and put us in position to win the race.
Stan.
Yeah, one more question for you. What does the win mean tonight in your effort in the final 2 races? Because obviously those are extremely different tracks from what you looked at today. But what does the win mean to you emotionally to your efforts for the next 2 weeks?
Well, I kind of touched on it before, but I think emotionally to me it's huge. Last week easily had the fastest truck, was reeling in Harvick there for the lead, and had some trouble. And this year's been plagued with a lot of things that have just been freak or out of our control, quite frankly. And it's that peaks and valleys, and just trying to maintain solid mind. And I think it's super important for my team, the guys. They're the ones that ultimately work around the clock to get the trucks to and from the racetrack. So, I knew that we were going to finish the season strong. If you look back to Martinsville, 3 of the 4 last races we've won at. And, to be able to come in here and win again. We've never finished outside the top 5 at Phoenix, and we were defending winners at Homestead last fall. So we need to finish strong and ultimately get our team back into a championship form. I know we can do it. We just this year is just one of those years. It's kind of a rebuilding year, and I look forward to all the positive things in the future. Working with Toyota has been great for ThorSport as an organization, and I feel like we're only going to get better off into the off season. And we've ran really well at a lot of racetracks that we didn't run well at last year, and including the restrictor plate racetracks. We were in position to win Daytona, lead, and got wrecked, and we finished second at Talladega. So we have made gains at some of the racetracks that maybe weren't our strong suits. So if we can continue that momentum going into next year, I don't see any weak links. I feel like short tracks is me and Joe's forte, our background. We've proven we can win a mile and a half, so we just got to put it all together.
He hit on a lot of stuff, and then team morale. He doesn't come to the shop as much as I'm there every day, but team morale. These wins are just team morale and pumps everybody up, and especially at the end of the year, because you're carrying that into the off season and getting ready for the next year, and like Johnny says, these last races are very strong for us, and I think we could do very well. We could end here with a couple more wins easily if everything goes our way.
Another question back there.
Janine Cloud with Skirts and Scaps. To kind of go the same thing, only backwards a little bit, how satisfying is it to come in here after having walked out saying your most famous tagline, now, God bless America, and then come back and win the next 2 races. How does that feel for you?
Well, I mean, that was tough. You know, anytime you're in position and you know, everybody did everything right, and ultimately we made a lane violation at the final restart, and what was a win essentially turned into a 22nd place finish. And if you look back at the points, you know, that makes us a champion a year ago. So, yeah, it's tough to swallow. I mean, I don't care who you are. It's, you know, it's hard to win these races, and it's just something to be here. I mean, for me, I look at it as, you know, every day is a blessing to just have a job and be able to race for a living. So, you know, to be able to come back here and win 2 in a row at Texas, this is big. I mean, Grandma lives right up the road, and, you know, I know she watches every race and hangs on everything that we do. So, anytime you can go and ultimately get a penalty, I haven't had it happen a lot, but you can come back and win. It's just a shot in the arm. I mean, there's no other way to put it. That was the ultimate low, I think, in my racing career was having that taken away or making the mistake and getting, you know, the penalty. So, that's tough. But when you can come back and win 2 in a row, that's awesome. But me being the way that I am and as competitive as I am, I'm probably going to sit here and say, well, it should be 3. But we just, you know, tonight was a phenomenal night for us. Truck handled great, and I'm pretty hungry. We need to go win these last 2.
I'd like to come back here a couple more times if we could.
Any other questions? Gentlemen, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.